What's up, badass Warhammer Odyssey fans? In this video, I'm going to go over 10 super helpful tips and tricks to help you on your journey in Warhammer Odyssey. These tips do vary. Some might seem more upfront than others, while some you might not have thought of. I hope you learned something during your stay on my channel. If you do, be sure to smash that like button and think about subscribing. And without further ado, let's dive right in. Easily the most important tip is repair your gear. Yes, it's just that simple. Whenever you're in an area with a blacksmith, you're going to want to repair your gear. It is exponentially harder to complete content in Warhammer Odyssey if your gear is broken. Furthermore, once your gear is broken, it's difficult to return to a blacksmith to repair your gear if there is not one close by your spawn point. Just make it a habit to repair your gear every time you return to a small town that has a blacksmith. Tip number 2, unlock fast travel points in each new area. This should be done first before any quest, whether it's a main quest or side quest. I strongly recommend unlocking the fast travel points first. That way, once you've completed a quest that requires you to return to a specific part of town, you'll have that fast travel point unlocked, making it quicker to travel between quests and towns, which saves you time. This does cost copper, silver, or gold, depending on where you're at on the main storyline quest, but it is worth it in the long run, in my opinion. This also helps if your armor breaks, like in tip number 1, and you don't have to run through a slew of mobs to try to get your gear repaired. Tip number 3, check the equipment vendors in each location. You will be surprised what these bad boys have to offer. You initially start off with white gear, which you will get upgraded through quests. Typically about level 7, you should have a full set of green gear. After green, it becomes difficult to get blue and even purple gear. These vendors, however, will sell certain items throughout the day, so be sure to check them whenever possible. There is different vendors in each section of town, so be sure to check them all. You never know what you might find. The 4th tip might come as a surprise. Warhammer Odyssey is a party game. It's not a solo type of a game. You will find it difficult to kill certain mobs from the main storyline quest and side quests without some friends. Be sure to join a regiment and find a good group of friends to party with. I recommend having a diverse set of classes in your group. You're not going to want all healers or all tanks, for example. This will make it easier to kill some of those harder mobs. Trust me, doing them solo is sometimes impossible by yourself. I know I have trouble killing some of the side quest mobs. This game is not an easy auto farming or auto questing game. It does require some skill and teamwork. Tip number 5, when venturing out into the world, you will notice various levels of mobs. Some of these mobs will have 1 skull, some will have 2 skulls, and so on. The higher the level of the skull, the harder the mob is. Now, just because a mob is level 2 does not mean you won't find a level 2 with 2 skulls. The skulls can be found on any level of the mob. You want to double check the amount of skulls a mob has. Trying to kill a mob with 3 skulls or above can be very difficult, and again, might require teamwork to do so. Level 2 mobs at your level are easily doable. After that though, teamwork is required. You will also find randomly spawned mobs with 4 or even 5 skulls. These mobs require teamwork to conquer and some sweet rewards. Tip number 6, on your journey you will have to kill thousands of various monsters throughout Warhammer. Knowing which monsters to kill during your journey is important. If you want to kill a monster and it has a chest above its head, that means it's part of a quest and will have a chance to drop an item that you need for that quest. Some of these monsters will not have a chest above their head and therefore offer no rewards aside from experience. Be sure to double check the monsters you are about to attack to ensure they will offer rewards for the quest chain you are on. Remember, they will have a box above their head. This holds true for bosses as well. Tip number 7. Warhammer Odyssey has no auto-fighting or auto-questing. Everything in the game requires you to find or do on your own. Sometimes you will have to run across town to accomplish a task. This will require you to run through monster after monster. If you ignore these monsters, you will find your health running low and even perish before you can get to your quest and making you start over again. These monsters don't have a huge aggro range. An aggro range is the range at which they will attack you if you get too close. So you're going to either want to attack them or kill them as you go, or try to stay far enough away. If you do aggro a monster / mob, be sure to kill it, as it will follow you a good distance and attack you a few times before it resets to its original location. Tip number 8, always have food and energy food handy. Once you've completed a fight, you might find your health or even energy bar low. In order to replenish this, you can do this 2 ways. The first way is with energy or health potions. Be cautious using these, however, as you only have a limited supply of these and you cannot buy them from food vendors. Instead, you will want to take a seat and eat some food or energy to replenish. If you try to run, you might get caught from monsters and again find yourself dead with no armor, as it's all broken because you didn't stop at a blacksmith to repair your gear. Do yourself a favor, stop, have a seat, and eat. Be sure to always carry some food and energy food with you during your journey. Otherwise, you will find yourself on a hard spot and no potions because you used them all. Number 9. Questing is an intricate part of Warhammer Odyssey. Whenever you pick up a quest, you will never auto-run to the monsters you have to kill. Instead, there's 2 ways to find these monsters. The first way is with the arrow underneath your feet. You can follow that and it will take you to the quest location. The second way is by looking at the map on the top right. Follow the map closely, will take you to the location of the items you need to pick up or monsters you need to kill. The second part of this tip is quests. Sometimes you will find that the quest that it has you doing is not the quest that you want to do. You can change this by going to the quest tab and selecting the GPS navigator icon. Whichever quest you have selected in here will take you to that quest. If you want to change the quest priority, you can do that here as well. You can also track whether it's a main storyline quest or side quest from this section at the top. Tip number 10, the 10th and final tip, focuses on the map. Having a hard time locating certain places or even clicking on the fast travel location, you can turn off specific items on or off on the minute map to help you locate quests. I found that some vendors overlap, and when they do, you don't see that there's a quest in certain places on the map, or when trying to fast travel, you cannot click on the fast travel icon because a quest is in the way. Go to the top right of the map menu and turn off exactly what is needed to help you save some time. Bonus tip, or tip number 11, don't forget to allocate your action points and stats. The action points help you make your skills stronger or have a quicker cooldown time. These vary by class, and I'm not going to tell you exactly where to spend these. I will say if you're a DPS class, focus on more damage, etc. Secondly is stats. Again, same thing here. Be sure to allocate these. I'm not a fan of auto-assigning them. I always want to make sure my damage stats are maximized if I'm DPS, so I always put the 3 points into that. Now, if you're a tank, you would want more HP, so I would focus on that. Be sure to allocate these points correctly and use them wisely. That covers everything for the beginner's tips and tricks for Warhammer Odyssey. I understand that there could be more tips and tricks that could be beneficial. This is merely the first 10 that I thought could help beginners in Warhammer Odyssey. If you can think of any additional tips, be sure to leave them in the comments section down below. I also know that a lot of different opinions about Warhammer Odyssey are floating around out there. Remember that this is a soft launch. You will find bugs and various issues throughout your journey. Be patient, as the developer team is working on fixing as many as possible, as well as releasing new Warhammer Odyssey content for us to explore. I hope this helps you on your journey. If you've learned something, I would greatly appreciate it if you smash that like button on your way out. And with that being said, I will see you next time.